Hello, Renee. Welcome to the Narcissism Decoder podcast. I want to start off by first thanking you very much for taking the time to be with us today to discuss this really complicated, complex topic of covert narcissism. And we know that you're sort of a leader in the field on this topic. So I wanted to thank you for being here and really helping us sort through all of what this concept means. So thank you again.
You're very welcome. And Dr. Mazzella, thank you so much for having me. I'm
Mhm.
honored to be here. I love that we have so many people and experts in the field trying to expand this knowledge and get it into the hands of the people who really need it.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems like such an appropriate time because as more people are learning about narcissistic characteristics, what I'm beginning to hear in my own practice and the questions that I get from my listeners was exactly a topic that you covered recently. And that's why I was very excited to have you here. So it's not just about covert narcissism, but more specifically, what's happening is adults are recognizing or beginning to question whether their parents are actually covert narcissists. So maybe that's a good place for us to start is you could give us some sense perhaps of what that might look like. In other words, like how does covert narcissism present itself in the parent-child relationship?
Absolutely. And it is a hot topic. It is an important topic, to discuss with our followers and people who are trying to make sense out of all of this. So covert narcissism in and of itself is more about the covert behaviors that show up of the different types of narcissism and the different styles of narcissism. And so it's the subtle, passive aggressive,
Hmm.
insidious things that when you see them as one off, when you see it as just a simple moment, you don't think of it as being a problem. You don't think of it as abusive. You don't think of it as, you don't see it as a problem. And then as a child, especially, you idolize your parents. Like you expect that your parents love you and care for you. You don't even consider that they don't. So
Hmm.
when these subtle behaviors are showing up as a child, you just move on. They don't even really stick in your memory, but your behaviors start being affected by it. Your
Yeah.
feelings start being affected by it. And so how it shows up is things like emotional manipulation, but it's disguised as love. It's
Hmm.
disguised as being, but I just care about you. I'm only telling you this because I love you so much. You should be grateful. And what just happened was, maybe they're berating you for your performance in, say, a soccer game. You scored
Hmm.
3 goals, you had a great game, but rather than celebrating it with you, they're now ripping you apart for you could have done that part better and you could have done this better. I'm only telling you this because I care about you so much and I love you so much. So the child walks away feeling bad about themselves. I'm not good enough, but they don't understand why. They don't
Hmm.
understand that it's because of the way that parent just interacted with them and framed their control of them as love.
Yeah, now I could see the covert piece of it, right?
Hmm.
Because it's not like the typical grandiose, like a lot of people think of like the really loud, bragging type of narcissist, but this one is far more subtle and disguised, right?
It really is.